Hey guys, before I give you my thoughts on Scream 3, I just wanted to let you guys know that this one probably won't be as energetic or as fun as the other two reviews cuz literally just now I have found out that my uncle has passed away because now I was never very close to him. He made bad decisions in his life. He just did pretty bad things with alcohol. I just found out that he died, and he died earlier today when I was leaving school. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't very close to him, but he was my family, and I'll miss him. And my aunts and cousin, they're pretty upset about it, which I'm gonna try and get a hold of him, try to talk to him a little bit about it. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know before I give you my thoughts on this, and yeah, that's just what I wanted to say before I gave you my thoughts. So enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Ghostface has returned to give you Tanner's thoughts on Scream 3, which a lot of people have said that this is their least favorite Scream movie. By all standards, I agree, but to me, I think Scream 3 is very underrated. Not coming from me, it's coming from Tanner, don't yell at me. Now, before I begin, I want to talk about how this was originally supposed to be the end of the Scream trilogy, where the first two films were well received, and after writing this film, they didn't know where else to take this franchise. They didn't know what kind of horror movies to comment on. So this was, in fact, the end of this franchise. It was not written by Kevin Williamson. It was written by Edgar Kruger, I believe his name was, and a lot of people did not like how this original trilogy was supposed to end. But thankfully, there's not a bad Scream movie, and I honestly enjoyed this film. Starting off with the positives on Scream 3 is the Jay and Silent Bob character. Now, sure, it feels a bit unnecessary to have these characters do a cameo in it, but it's Jay and Silent Bob. They're fun to watch. I love Jay and Bob, the Silent Bob Strike Back. It's just funny to see these two in here how they're kind of like talking to Gail Weathers like, "Hey Maury, how's Connie?" And I also kind of find it funny how after this movie came out, the director of Jay and Silent Bob actually got Wes Craven do a cameo in that movie for thanking him for having him for them doing a cameo in Scream 3, which I honestly thought was very interesting. I like how this movie is very Hollywood, where how you see how they make a Scream movie, where they build out the houses from the original movies and all that, and they show how a film is made, and how I just like how Hollywood this movie is, where they just kind of show different movies, how meta it is, bringing in famous actors like Jay and Silent Bob, which I thought was very interesting. Like I said, this movie is very Hollywood. They show how a movie is made. They show a bunch of movies, like the movie companies. I just like seeing all that. It's very interesting to show, but like I just said, it's interesting to see how they show how a movie is made in a very meta franchise. I like the Jennifer and Gale partnership, where Jennifer is the person who plays Gale in Stab 3, but Gale doesn't really like Jennifer that much because she kind of stole her man with Dewey. But after that, they kind of become partners to solve this case on Prescott being a Hollywood star for a while. And they're honestly kind of the comic relief, and I just like the Jennifer character. I think she is easily the best character in this movie. Probably one of my favorite characters. I have seen people say that they don't like this character very much, but I honestly enjoy her. Every time she's on screen, I just love her because she's a very comic relief, and she's trying to be Gale in a way, and then she teams up with Gale, and they try to solve all this stuff. It's a very cool partnership, and like I said, kind of put up there for the comedic roles for this movie, but I honestly enjoy it. Comic relief. I like the two police officers in this movie, where you get the one police officer trying to find out where Sydney is, and then you get his partner. They're both kind of set up as a comic relief, where you get like that one serious cop, and then you get that one meta cop, like when they're going to arrest Roman to question him. He's like, well, this is the scene where you come with us. And then there's another scene. He's like, there's no reason to believe that Cotton's death had to do with this movie. He was making a movie called Stab. He was stabbed. Like Gail and Jennifer, they're kind of set up as a comic relief, as at least one of the officers are. And then you got that very serious cop. Like I said, they're just both very interesting characters. They're set up as a comic relief, but I honestly like watching them. Remember how Randy died in Scream 2? Well, they return him in a videotape. But it's better than nothing, right? Before I kind of talk about that, I do want to talk about how the original plan was to bring Jamie Kennedy back to be an actual character in this movie, where it shows how he survived the killing in Scream 2, but they knew that wouldn't work, and a lot of people would honestly probably be upset with that, which I would have, honestly. That's cool from Ghostface. But I honestly think it was a better idea just have him leave a videotape. I was just like, see, I told you I'd make a movie one day, guys. And it's just really funny how he just kind of goes over the rules, and then his college friends, like his roommates, are like, hey, I need to get in the room. 15 minutes and all that. I just like seeing Jamie Kennedy back as Randy. He's probably one of my favorite characters, if not being up there with my favorite, just saying. But I just think it was nice to bring him back for this one last time. I get the characters in Scream 5. Remember how I said this movie goes Hollywood and bringing famous actors? They get Carrie fucking Fisher. And if you don't know who that is, then you should go to hell. I'm just joking. Don't unsubscribe, please. But Carrie Fisher is the person who plays Princess Leia in the Star Wars trilogy. And she sadly passed away back in 2018, 17, I can't remember. But she passed away, and I was devastated, and her role in this is very meta, and it's very funny how she's like, I was this close getting Princess Leia. Who gets it? Person who sleeps with George Lucas. Man, she wasn't a princess. Wait, yeah, she wasn't a princess. She was a queen. Now moving on to the next aspects is the opening of this movie. Now, I don't hate it, but it is my least favorite out of all of them. But what holds it back for what I honestly kind of enjoyed it, there's enjoyment factor. But what brings it into a mixed aspect is the fact that they killed off Cotton Weary in this, which I honestly did not like. It's because, like, you waste this awesome character that we got back in Scream 2, who was a very interesting character, then you just kill him off. And you're needing to tell me that the person that we get as Ghostface killed this buff motherfucker? What is this, a joke? I'm moving on to the negatives, and that is the voice changer in this movie that I use, where you can apparently mimic other people's voices. What? It's very stupid. How did he get their voices? How did the Ghostface in this movie get the voices of our characters? It's just really dumb. Like, I get it, they use other voice changers in this movie, but they don't use ones where they have the person's voice. Even nowadays, back in 2018, they showed a video with the fake voice of Donald Trump, and you could tell it was fake. But there is a positive side to it where you get that tense scene where Gale and the Ghostface roll down the stairs in the hidden room in the kitchen where Gale's calling Dewey and Dewey's just like, how do I know this is not you? And how do I know this is you and not the killer? And she's like, because he's down here, damn it. Don't you think that's what the killer would say? But I just don't really care for it. And it's very dumb how he has their voices, which is not explained. There is one kill in this movie that's kind of creative instead of just stabby stabby, but that's a house explosion. What? Why is there a house explosion and the guy who gets exploded in this house? Apparently, he was trying to read the other part of the script. Is like, whoever smelled the gas, go outside and read it. And then he lights a lighter. How did he not smell the gas? Oh my god, it's just dumb. It's not explained. Why does he use a lighter to read it? Why did he use the flashlight that they had to read the other pages? Or why did he go outside to read it? Deep breaths. Deep breaths. It's very dumb, but take deep breaths. Negative is that Sydney Prescott feels underwhelmed to me. She kind of feels like an afterthought. She pops up in scenes here and there, but she's kind of just gone there. She doesn't feel like she's an important character. I honestly believe that the screenwriter of this film honestly forgot that Sydney Prescott was an important character this series. That's You're just gonna take this popular character of the Scream franchise and just kind of just put her just there? What? And the scenes that she is in, they don't even feel special. Like she's kind of there. Like every time she's on screen, I'm like, oh, Her Cindy, and they just kind of make her boring. They don't try to utilize her at all. Just come on, why can't she just be the main character? And they don't even have her with doing it a lot. Oh, just come on, take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. How the hell is the killer in this movie supposed to teleport? Where you get scenes where he's like outside chasing Cindy, and all of a sudden he's in a closet. Now there was an early part of the script where there was two ghost faces where the person who plays Sydney in this movie, not Neve Campbell, the person who plays Sydney in the Stab 3 movie, she was written to be a killer, but they scrapped it for some reason. But there are popular theories that she was in fact, because if you bought that 3 disc DVD collection that came out a few years ago, there's a little rest in peace thing for all the characters in the Scream movies, but she does not show up on that, even though we've seen her get stabbed and presumably died. People have assumed that she was in fact the other Ghostface, and they just faked her death. But the only reason that I think it's not true is because the screenwriter of this film, and none of the other screenwriters, Wes Craven, they haven't really brought it up to say that's true. But maybe it's true, but they just don't really talk about it. But yeah, how the hell is the killer supposed to teleport if there's originally just supposed to be one killer? Speaking of the killer, I didn't really care for the Ghostface reveal, and I did not care for the Ghostface, and that was Roman. You know, that one important character, the director of the Stab 3 movie. An important character, huh? Yeah. The director of Stab 3, and his motive is that he's the son of Maureen Prescott and the half brother of Sydney. What? I'm not blaming it on the actor, but I'm pretty much blaming the screenwriter because he feels underutilized. He's hardly a character in here, and he only has like 4 scenes. But I don't blame it on the actor. I'm pretty much blaming the screenwriter. He's not in this movie much, and if he was written more into it, if he got more scenes with him, maybe it would have changed for me more. But I don't blame the actor either. But he is, in fact, my least favorite Ghostface. But the scenes that we do get with him are decent, and I had some enjoyment factor. But I just didn't care for him. Another thing about Roman, apparently he's the person that motivated Billy to kill Maureen and start the first movie. You're now bringing him up now? All in all, guys, I think this is honestly not a bad sequel. A lot of people say it's their least favorite. By all means, it is my least favorite, but that's not saying much because I still have enjoyment factor with it. But to me, it's not as good as the first 2 movies or the upcoming 2 movies. But honestly, it's not a bad film, but I would have to say that you should go ahead and stream it. So what do you guys think of Scream 3? Is this your favorite, and do you think it's underrated? Or do you hate this movie, you think that it should get all the hate that it deserves? Or are you like me and think there isn't a bad Scream sequel? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. But until my next video, take care. Oh yeah, one more thing. What's your favorite third movie? I don't have one because a lot of them are my least favorite. Probably Nightmare on Elm Street 3.